Imagine standing on a shoreline. Behind you, everything you have ever known, every face, every fire, every voice that ever spoke your name. In front of you, nothing but water. Blue, endless, moving, breathing, stretching so far that the horizon is just a rumor. Now imagine stepping into that water anyway. Not because you are brave, because you have no choice. This person existed. We know this because of something scientists discovered buried beneath 90 meters of water. Something that should not have been there. Something that rewrote everything we thought we knew about ancient humans. But before we get to that discovery, we need to understand the question that drove this person into the unknown. Why would any human leave solid ground? Why would anyone abandon the only world they had ever touched? The answer is not what you expect. It is not adventure. It is not curiosity, not exploration. The first human who crossed the ocean was running. Something pushed them off that shore. Something worse than sharks, worse than drowning, worse than never seeing home again. And when you hear what it was, you will understand why staying meant death. This was the end of the last ice age. Sea levels rose by more than 120 meters. That is taller than a 40-story building. Entire continents of land vanished beneath the waves. Islands became smaller, then gone. Tribes watched their hunting grounds disappear, their burial sites, their caves, their entire history. And then came the day when the water reached the last dry patch of earth beneath their feet. So here is what they did. Someone looked at the water. Someone remembered stories told by grandmothers about land that existed beyond the horizon. Land their people had left generations ago. Land that might still be there, or might not. Someone decided that dying on the water was better than watching their children drown on land that no longer existed. They built something that should not have worked. Not a boat, not a canoe, something much simpler. They gathered logs, dead wood, vines. They tied everything together with knots learned from watching roots grow through soil. The result was barely floating chaos, but it floated, and that was enough. Then came the moment. The water was rising faster now. The tribe had maybe one day left, maybe less. The builder gathered food, fresh water in animal stomachs, a fire starter, a stone blade. They looked at the tribe one last time, and then they pushed the raft into the water. No goodbye, no ceremony, just a person, a pile of wood, and an ocean that had already swallowed their world. The first hour felt like a nightmare. Every wave tried to throw them off. Every splash tasted like death. But then something strange happened. The water calmed, the sun rose higher, and the shore began to shrink behind them. They watched it happen, watched the trees become a line, watched the line become a dot, watched the dot disappear completely. They were alone, on the water. For the first time in human history, but the ocean had other plans. The sun did not stay gentle. It became a hammer, day after day. The water pouch began to feel lighter, too light. They rationed. One sip at sunrise, one sip at midday, one sip when the stars appeared, but the sun drank more than they saved. And then came the day when the pouch was empty, and there was no land, no rain, no rescue coming. Here is what scientists discovered when they studied these ancient ocean crossings. The first humans did not navigate by sun or stars alone. They did not follow birds or currents. They did something much stranger, much riskier. They listened. They put their heads beneath the water and listened to the echoes of land. And somehow, impossibly, it worked. But the ocean heard them too, and it sent its answer. The sky turned black in minutes, not gradual, not forgiving. One moment sun, the next moment something that looked like the end of the world. Waves rose taller than anything the builder had ever seen. The raft twisted, broke, came apart. And then there was only water and darkness and the sound of a human screaming into nothing. But here is what no one expected, what scientists found when they mapped the ancient ocean floor. The first humans did not cross open water by accident or luck. They followed a road hidden beneath the waves, a chain of islands that existed during the Ice Age, islands that are now underwater. They never sailed out of sight of land, because the land was always there, until suddenly, it wasn't. They stayed on that island for days, maybe weeks. They found fresh water, ate crabs from the rocks, slept on ground that did not move. They could have stayed forever. Small island, alone, safe. But the water kept rising. The island kept shrinking. And somewhere beyond the next horizon, the island their grandmother spoke of, the island that might still be dry, the island that might still have people. This time the crossing was different. This time there were no islands left. This time the horizon was truly empty. They had no choice but to trust the water, trust the wind, trust the voice inside that said, "Keep going." And then, on what might have been the 5th day or the 50th, something appeared. A smudge, a shadow, a line that was not water, a line that was land. They crawled onto that beach, not walked. Crawled. They lay in the wet sand with waves washing over their legs, and they did not move for a long time. Then they lifted their head, and they saw something that made everything worth it. Footprints. In the sand, fresh footprints. They were not alone. Someone else had survived. Someone else had crossed. Someone else was already here. This is where the story should end. But here is what science discovered that changed everything. Genetic evidence shows that humans crossed oceans not once, not twice, at least 3 separate times before any civilization existed, before writing, before farming, before wheels or cities or kings. Stone Age people looked at the ocean and decided to cross it. And here is the strangest part. Some of them succeeded. But surviving the ocean was only half the battle. When humans reached new lands, they found creatures that had never seen a person before. Animals that did not know to run. Animals that did not know to fear. And some of those animals looked at these strange hairless creatures and decided they looked like food. The first human to cross the ocean did not die from drowning. They almost died from something much worse. Here is what scientists found when they studied the teeth of ancient ocean crossers. The people who survived these voyages had something unusual, something unexpected. Their teeth showed evidence of eating raw sea animals for months. But their bones told a different story. Their bones showed they had never done this before, which means the first ocean crossers learned to survive at sea while they were at sea. No practice, no training, no one to teach them, just a human and an ocean figuring it out together. Every person alive today whose ancestors came from certain islands owes their existence to someone like this. Someone who looked at an impossible journey and took the first step anyway. Someone who watched land disappear and kept paddling. Someone who arrived on a beach with nothing but salt-crusted skin and the stubborn refusal to die. That person is your ancestor too, in a way. Because every human who ever crossed any ocean, from the first to the most recent, carries the same belief, that what is waiting is worth the risk. The ocean you see today is the same ocean they crossed. The waves have not changed, the horizon has not moved, but something else has changed. You? Because now you know that somewhere out there, beneath the water, lies a road that no longer exists. A road built by rising seas and taken by rising seas. And somewhere on that road, a human being made of nothing but hope and hunger and trembling hands pushed forward into the blue, not knowing if they would live. Going anyway. You exist because they went anyway.